smarter to pay it off completely, or should I like pay it off in increments? Like, does it matter? Like, so as far as like trying to help and keep my credit and the credit card looking good.
Paying it off is the best, but you want to pay it off after it's been acknowledged. Meaning, like, so people sometimes they'll charge the card and pay it off that day. That the credit bureau, yeah. So the credit bureaus have not acknowledged that you even used the card. So you want to ask, what is my statement date? So what is the date that the statement is actually issued? Meaning, we acknowledge Fran has a balance.
Oh,
then you pay it off. You see what I mean?
Got you.
So that way, then you're acknowledging like charge used and paid off. Charge paid off. Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, that's so important for me because I think in fear of credit card debt, as soon as I charge it, I'm already like, I gotta get this off. You know what I mean?
A lot of people do that, but if you're used like, and it's fine if your credit score, like your credit score is fine. So I mean, you can do that and be fine because I mean, what else do you need? You're past 850.
Yeah.
You're past 750. But for someone who's specifically trying to raise their score, you wanted to make sure that habit of paying off a debt, but it has to be acknowledged first.
Okay.
They will have you literally, see, this pisses me off because these are details and things, and not even details, but they are details. It's just information that people don't know.
Yep.
And there's so many people who are working tirelessly to like get themselves in better shape financially and don't even know and sitting still like a motherfucker wondering like, damn, not knowing to call and ask what your statement date is, not knowing that just simply paying the balance on time.
Because when I met my husband, his credit score was like a 6-something. And I was like, baby, ooh, baby, what did you do? So I was like, let me see, are you late on your bills? He was like, no. I'm like, trying to figure out what it is. He had one credit card, a secured credit card, and it was a $500 limit, but he had a 450 balance. So he was almost maxed out.
Oh.
But he did it on purpose because he thought, I get my credit card, I use it, and then he was like, I was paying like $25 a month on it to show them I can pay.
See, that's how we're taught.
And I told him, I'm like, no,
they taught me that same thing too.
Yeah, I said, pay it off. He paid it off. His credit score raised over 100 points in 3 months.
I
said, you're welcome.
That's how you hold it down.
Right?
Okay.
I'm like, it's called the upgrade.
Hello? And that's the other thing, the credit that you're marrying into. Woo! That's a whole other episode.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, like I said, credit is not super hard. Like, if your grandma has good credit, ask her to add you to her card as an authorized user. Tell her grandma.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah, you don't have to give me a card.
But my parents.
Exactly, as an authorized user, because you will actually inherit their good behavior, but you won't inherit their mistakes. Because ultimately, it's them using the card. You know,
right.
So it's a great way to get you're not going to raise a whole lot of points, but it's a great way to get something positive on your credit report.
Yes.
Okay, so those are, you said 4.
Well, the 5. So yeah, I gave you the 5. So it's
those are the 5.
Utilization, type of debt, inquiries, length of credit history, and payment history. So those are the 5 components of your credit score.
Woo! Okay, and there's really nothing else, right? You just have to inquire about all of those 5 pillars.
Well, really, here's the thing. If you really want to raise your credit score, pay on time and get your utilization down. Pay down your debt. You know, and then if you do have a credit card with a 0 balance, do that jump like Jordan. Pay it off every month. Just put the cheapest thing that you have on it and pay it off every single month. Ask your grandma, can I be an authorized user? Your mom, your dad. Somebody who has a good card and good standing, can I be an authorized user? And if none of that works, you can always get something called a secured card. And so that's a credit card with training wheels, but you have to have money. You have to have at least $500 to $600.
Is that like the Uncle Rush card?
Child, don't even get me started.
No, baby, what did you do?
Yeah. Oh, hell no. I'm like, I like it in other capacities, but I'm like, those are predatory. Those type of like,
Right.
You know, so a secured card, you typically can get it from your bank, and the bank is like, I don't know you. By the looks of it, though, you don't pay back. So what we're going to do is you're going to give me $500. We're going to put it in a savings account for you. And guess what your limit is on your credit card? $500. So should you decide not to pay me, we got your money already. Boom. So a secured card is basically your card with training wheels. And if you do right by the secured card, after about a year, they'll make it a regular credit card and give you back your money.
Call now, 323-960-4420. That's 323-960-4420.
Babe, I know there were years of lies and deception, but we got through it, and I thought you'd change.
No, I just became a better liar.
Feeding a monster.
102.3 Radio Free KJLH.
Remember, I was at the bank.
Did they give you a bonus?
Well, just a little, like, you know, like,
$1.50.
If that. We were at the bank once, and my husband was like, babe, I got $500 in my account extra. Let's go. I was like, that's not how these things. He didn't realize that his secured card had not expired, but he got upgraded to a regular card.
And it was the money he already
He was about to
put
trick
in.
it out. I was like, look at you.
Oh, okay. This is so valuable because, like Dustin was saying, these are tips that are pretty simple, but you just wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But and also, people don't take the time to look that up.
People don't take the time to look it up while you're sitting up watching. Never mind. Go ahead, Tiffany.
Okay, so that's as far as credit.
Right, yep.
What's the next thing that people ask the most about?
People ask the most about, probably, I would say debt.
Debt, just in general?
Yeah, so student loan debt. You know, everybody is like, oh, these student loans. So here's the thing. You have federal student loan debt, and you have private student loan debt, a.k.a. the devil.
Right.
Because federal student loan debt, by law, if you're struggling, there are things in place that they must do to help you. So you've got forbearance, you've got income-based repayment. So if you're broke, I wish I knew this when I was like broke, because I was like putting my stuff in deferment. Defer. But when I was on unemployment, I could have literally signed up for income-based repayment and been paying $0 a month.
I was just reading about that.
Wow.
I didn't know about that either.
Yep. So they can look at your income and say, well, based upon your income, your monthly payment is $1. Your monthly payment is $2. Yeah. So because you want to save your deferment, because it's only limited. You might only get a number of years to defer.
Yeah.
So you want to save it. And so if you're struggling, apply for income-based repayment. And then really look into student loan forgiveness. So I was a school teacher for a number of years, and I didn't realize, like, yo, I can get forgiveness. So I got about $17,000 worth of my loan forgiven. Because I have my master's in education. So it was a $50,000. That's how much it cost me. Because my parents took care of a lot of my undergrad, and then I paid the rest of it off. And then I got my master's, trying to be cute, $50,000 later. Oh my God. Right? I'm not a principal, because that's what it was for. And because I had been a teacher for 10 years, I was able to qualify for a certain amount of forgiveness.
Yes.
And so the thing is, even if you don't naturally qualify, meaning like you don't work for the state.
That was my next question. Can everyone qualify?
You can, because so one of my friends, her name is Angela. She's got this great business called Financial Aid Strategist. So she was telling me, had I not worked for the school, I could have started my own nonprofit and worked for so I could have had a regular job and had my own nonprofit and worked for my nonprofit and racked up the years necessary to qualify for student loan forgiveness.
Because it's based on public
service.
Public service jobs, right?
Yep.
Like
Isn't
federal,
that right?
state.
I was like mind blown.
Yo, you just...
They don't tell us nothing.
They don't.
Michael Jackson. They don't care about us, man.
I'm telling you, it's really why I started the Budgetnista, because it's not even just we're not told. The information is literally purposefully withheld. I'm in these rooms, purposefully withheld.
Which is why I was so happy to have you here today.
You know, and it's scary. Yes. And so I'm just like, that's not fair. So as soon as I learn something, I'm like, I'm going back to tell. I have to tell.
The bone carrier. I'm the bone carrier. That's right.
Just call me Sojourner. We gonna get free together.
Because I was reading about the public service loan forgiveness, right? PSLF, and they were saying that 13,000 people applied.
Yep.
But only 1,000 people were eligible.
And so
that's why I was like, well, how is that helpful?
And honestly, oftentimes, so Angela, like I told you, who owns Financial Aid Strategist, right? Mm-hmm. So when I first called, they were like, oh no. And she was like, oh girl, they lied to you. Because folks, they don't want to do their job. Mm. So sometimes you got to get on the phone with somebody who knows.
Right.
You know, so she was like, no, actually, according to statute 221456.
Yes, Lord.
I was like, That's my Aunt Angela. Meanwhile, she ain't my aunt, but I was like, oh, my Aunt Angela's on the phone. She'll be taking over on this call. So sometimes you need, guidance. Because at first I was like, Angela's not that big of a deal. She said, girl, it's $17,000. I said, wait, how much? She said, that's what's on the line.
Now.
So I filled out the necessary paperwork, but people
got her on the line.
Exactly, right? Jesus on the main line.
Okay.
Right?
What you want.
Exactly. But, what I learned is that another thing that I learned when it comes to student loan forgiveness, like I said, that you can create that environment for yourself. But there are some jobs that you don't think are not necessarily public service, but they're linked to like a state job, like liquor stores. You work at a liquor store? Boo-boo, you can actually apply and qualify for student loan forgiveness because it's like state-run. Liquor stores are like
the regulations and shit.
So like people don't there's certain little. So you volunteer at your church?
Yeah, give us some people.
You a deacon?
Yeah, right. Give us a list.
You a deacon at your church or something like that, and you put in a certain number of hours, you can get a letter for them and get some loans forgiven.
Y'all working for TD Jakes.
Wow. You've been trying to make your move.
I've been trying. I knew.
The fact that they call it student loan forgiveness has always been so telling to me. Like, you know it's something fucked up. They got to be like, we forgive.
When they be pushing the loans off on
they
you.
do, because who didn't get that refund check was like,
you signed up for college asking you for bank information, and you're like, what is this for? And then you put it down, you get that check, and you're like, ew, I got some free money. Like, ew, that money is not free.
I know people who went to school just to get the refund. That's the whole reason you stayed in school.
That's the reason that, look, not for nothing, that's the reason that sometimes you would spend that semester trying to get your credits back up to get back in school and get that whole scholarship back.
My
get that
God.
a refund.
Until they changed and they was like, no, it has to be at least a year. And people was like, nah, a year's too long.
And I just read that Congress has allocated to the Department of Education $350 million to offer forgiveness to student loan borrowers. I just read that today.
Yeah, I saw that too. So I'm like, so it's almost like we finna see.
I was just going to say, do you think that's true, number one? Well, it is true, but do you think it will help?
So we'll see, because oftentimes money will be allocated, but the hoops they make you jump through will be. So we'll see like what's going to be required in order to qualify for that. Yeah,
and I was looking to see, because it's different from the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, and so I was like, what's the difference? And they were saying the biggest difference is that the PSLF doesn't cover grad students and people with extended repayment program.
Well,
but this apparently will.
No, and honestly, the student loan forgiveness, no, because like I'll say, for example, a friend of mine, Angela, saved her almost $1 million over her lifetime because she went to she's a doctor, so you know your student loans are like $300,000, something ridiculous,
right?
You know,
a month.
Exactly. And then plus with all the fees, so if by the time she paid it off, she would have paid off over $1 million.
And the interest.
Yeah, exactly, and interest. And so that's the thing. I mean. Here's the thing. If you're listening and you're young, like in your 20s, that's usually when like the shit hits the fan, quite honestly. That's when you start to really mess up, right? So meaning like, you know, you move out of your parents' house too soon. If you're able to stay,
that's so
that extra
real.
year,
do it.
You know, like I saved, and then that first year too, I remember being like, okay, I'm gonna move out, because who doesn't want to leave your parents' house? But I said, you know what? That first year I saved and I bought a car cash. It was a little $3,000. I think I paid $5,000 for I went to the auction, but now no car note. And when you don't have a car note, your insurance is going to be much lower because you own the car. My insurance was $52 a month. So you know, my friend, say my friend is Shelly, right? Shelly has a new car. Her car note is $200 a month, and her insurance is $150. So now Shelly is up $350, and I'm paying nothing for the car, $52. So we both driving. $52 versus $350.
But you driving smart.
Exactly.
And the auction always has good cars.
Always.
You know, you can always get a good car at the auction.
I'm telling you. And then, so that's decision number one. And then you're like, we both want to move out. I stay an extra year. I save up. I buy my bed and the furniture, whatever I need. Shelly moves out right away. Puts the furniture on a card, gets a furniture card.
That's what I did.
Right? We all do that. So now
I literally did that.
She moves out soon. I want to live by myself. I'm grown. I move out with my sister, and we find a house. It was
I didn't have a sister.
Well, I mean, whoever you're
but now I'm getting defensive. I didn't have one.
Right. So it was $1,100 our rent. So it was $550 a piece, and Shelly's paying $1,100 on her own. So now I'm paying $550 plus my $50 for my car, and my furniture's paid for. Shelly's paying $150 for insurance, $250 for the car, $1,100. You see how all of a sudden we have the same stuff, but a little bit of patience and a little bit of
1 year waiting.
And then all of a sudden now Shelly's life is costing her, you know, $1,500 a month, and you know, and mine is costing me $600. You know, and so all of a sudden, that's why I was able to save $40,000, making $39,000 a year as a teacher, and buy a house, because I did not set myself up to have a couch bill, a TV bill, you know, all of these random bills.
All the expenses start having you leak out all your money.
Because people will tell you like, oh, well, because they would always be like, you so cheap, don't nobody want to live like that. Okay. Now my friends are like, so I could holler at you. Can I sit down with you one-on-one? I was like, because it's not about telling yourself.
She like they was cold.
Because you know, because people think like saying no or like having not having stuff means you have less of a life. That's just not true.
Right. You have more of a plan.
Yes. I mean, I can honestly say now, because at one point I was negative $300,000 in debt. So I know what it feels like to have nothing.
Right.
You know, when I lost my house. Like my condo, I owe $200,000. I owe $50,000 student loan debt. I had that $35,000 worth of of credit card debt from the scam. So I owed almost $300,000.
Freaking dude.
Yo, I couldn't even sleep. You know, I used to be like, yo, just up at night, just walking back and forth, like, Lord, you just see me through these times. Right? And I said, what I'm never gonna do is go back there again.
Amen.
You know? And so I'm like, whatever that takes. And now, collectively, my husband and I, we're worth 7 figures. You know, we just
Talk
bought a
about
house.
Black excellence,
Right?
baby.
Just bought a house cash.
Okay. Say what now?
We just bought a house cash.
Say it one more time so they hear you.
CASH cash.
Okay.
Put them on the glass.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And you know what else?
Goals.
Parents need to accept, they need to assume
Yeah.
the responsibility of making sure that their children are in a safe enough space to be able to save that money and make those kind of choices. A lot of times, parents just, you know, they feel like the job is done. Once you're out of high school, they go, get out the house, you got to do something shit. Yes, your children do have a responsibility at that point, but you're also in a hell of a
Not in
position.
this economy.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're in a position to be able to really set them up for, like, financial success.
True.
Because really, it's the simple rules. You have to spend less than you make. Let's just start with that. That's the basic rule. If you make 100, you can't spend 100.
Cannot.
You know? I mean, I know it sounds easy, and there are situations where, like, at one point, I couldn't do that. You know, meaning that, like, I think my unemployment was like $1,000 a month, and it just wasn't possible. I needed that whole 1,000. But in my mind, I knew the ideal was to spend less than I make. So either you got to spend less or you got to make more. And I was like, I can't spend less than what I'm already spending. Right?
And that's always the hardest part because people will tell poor people, like, you need to do better at budgeting. Hello, like,
Bitch, budget what?
You know, I ain't got nothing to budget.
Broke people are the best budgeters. I ain't never seen a person budget like a broke person, right? I used to be like, how much? I used to go to parties just for the food. I'm like, y'all gonna throw this away because it's a needy family. Me. For the letdown at the end, like, where you all putting these pants?
Y'all need help with that? Oh, I could just
Right?
It's real.
Right? But I realized, okay, you have to make more. I mean, I used to babysit. I used to tutor. If you have a degree or a job, those are things to get side hustles in because you don't have to learn something new, and the people tend to pay you more if you've already done it or you have like some sort of certificate or degree in it. So tutoring and babysitting, I got paid more because I was a school teacher at one point. So parents were like, great, we'll pay you extra because you've gotten your fingerprints done already. You're good with kids already. My husband was a repairman when I met him. And so, like, when he's side hustling, he's like, you want me to put up your TV, you want me to fix stuff around your house, retile your floor. So, you know, don't be ashamed to side hustle and put some extra money in your pocket.
Right.
You know? And then from that, remember, I talked about before that did I talk about this when or was I talking about, I think.
Off the record.
Okay. So there are 2 spaces, right, where you are financially. So think about 2 islands where you are now financially.
Yes.
Right? And then wealth land.
Yes.
We all wants to get to the wealth
Yes.
land, right?
right. I want to swim in it.
Yeah, you want to, right? Because wealth land is so nice over there.
It is.
Right? The water's a little bit bluer.
Yes.
Say that.
Right?
Yes.
Right? People just think they're having a good time. Where I am now, we're like, well, dang, everybody's struggling over here. Everybody mad, right? So,
I'm down.
right? And so there's a bridge that connects the 2. So it's not impossible. That bridge is called investing. You are not going to save your way to wealth. Right? But
tell that to my mama.
Right? But here's the thing. And then see, brown folks, this is what we do. We think we save enough, right? But here's the thing. The purpose of budgeting, the purpose of getting out of debt, the purpose of fixing your credit, all of that is so you can save more. Because saving is the literal vehicle, the car that you're going to drive over the investment bridge to wealth land. So in order to have wealth, you have to start with savings, then invest it, then you will have wealth. And so most people don't want to save because they see savings as like, they don't realize that you can actually grow your savings. They think to themselves, I can't never save a million. You don't have to save $1 million. You just have to save 10,000.
You have to flip it to $1 million.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So think of savings as like an acorn.
Right.
Right? So people are like, well, dang, how can I collect 1 million? You don't need to collect 1 million acorns. Collect 1 acorn, then another, then another, then another. Maybe you have 10 of them. Then you plant those acorns, invest in, take care of those acorns, and guess what grows? At least one of them will turn into an oak tree. That oak tree is going to take some time and some love. It's going to need a little sunshine and some water, but it'll grow. And guess what grows on oak trees? Acorns. So that literally, of that 10 that you gathered, 1 literally yielded you acorns for life.
Amen.
That was Akon.
Yeah. You know, but